Recording in progress.
Hi folks, so this is a video about the harmonic structure of I'm Just Ken from the Barbie film, and I was talking to a friend of mine, Brian, who asked if I had heard it because he was befuddled by the kind of modulations, key changes going on here. He's got a really good ear, and it was frustrating him in a certain sense because he couldn't pick it up. And I, of course, was like, "Oh, I'll take a listen." And like a uppity music professor, I said, "Oh, I'll listen to it. I bet I can hear it just by ear, and if not, I'll figure it out really quickly on my guitar." Neither of those were true. I needed my guitar, and I was able to sort through some stuff, but I fell down the rabbit hole. I got some help from the internet on what the chords actually were, and it was great. It's a really unusual tune. A lot of pop music does not go through these kind of harmonic journeys that this one does. So thanks, Brian, for taking me on this journey. So let's talk about it. But having said all that, what's going on is fairly simple, in that this tune is progressing through a circle of fifths. And let me show you this very fancy Word document with G flat. So the first section is in the key G flat. I'm having a lot of trouble with my microphone. Hopefully you can hear this. Let's see. So first section's in G flat with the piano and the voice. Then the next section, I'm just Ken. I think that's right. Yeah, nailed it. The next section is in D flat major. It starts, you might think of it as starting in B flat minor. It starts on a B flat minor chord, but then that section ends and really revolves around a D flat major key center to my ears. That's also convenient for my point here about the circle of fifths, because G flat and D flat are related by a fifth, right? So that's this section. Right? Guitar's out of tune. It's not mine. It's crappy. So D flat major there. Then the next section goes to A flat major, related to D flat by a fifth. D flat up a fifth is A flat. That's this section. Something like that, right? A flat major, no question about it. With some cool chord changes, by the way. A flat major to B major is super hip, and we could talk about what's going on there. Some modal borrowing for sure. For now, we'll just move on to this next section, which is, I'm putting over to the side here, because it is not related by a fifth to these other key centers, but it's definitely an E minor. That's the Kenergy bit. Can you feel a Kenergy? And that's an E minor. Something like. That whole section's an E minor, and that moves to another restatement of the chorus, refrain, whatever we want to call it, the I'm Just Ken, this time in E flat major. Okay. I think it ends on E flat major too, right? So what's going on here? Notice the bold sections, the main, what I'll call the main centers here. G flat, D, up a fifth is D flat, up a fifth is A flat, up a fifth is E flat. And what I'm saying here is that this E minor section, that really the most potent dynamic section, it's really moving, it's pushing towards the climactic moment, which is that now the key change of the primary refrain, the I'm Just Ken section, all that work is being done in this transition. So in that sense, E minor makes a lot of sense. If you think of A trying to get to E flat, and it does so through this half step motion, root motion of E down to E flat. Not very unusual at all in pop music, or in a lot of music. Half step motion is foundational to cadential motions. And so, we could have imagined, if we're just thinking about chords, E flat as a key center would be preceded by a B flat major or something like that, something boring like that. Here, this great E minor, almost Meatloaf or Queen segment moves to this final statement of the chorus in E flat. So again, primary structure here: G flat, up a fifth to D flat, circle of fifths, up a fifth to A flat, up a fifth to E flat, with the transitional section and key center of E minor facilitating that motion. Okay. So, thanks for indulging me. Thanks again, Brian, for doing this. And I hope if you're a CCNY student, that this assignment and exercise was useful and it was a lot of fun. Okay, thanks for watching. Take care.